Hey kindergartners, so today what we're going to do in class is we are going to get to talk a little bit about flowers because they are everywhere right now. And if you go out for a walk or even look out your window, chances are you're going to see one. Maybe not in your yard, maybe you are looking at a park, or maybe you're looking at your neighbor's balcony in your apartment. Hey, but chances are you might start seeing some flowers because it's that time of year, which is fantastic, right? Nice bright colors. Everything's starting to wake up because it's getting warmer. And so you're going to start to see some insects too, because once the flowers start coming out, the pollinators start coming out, like the bees and the butterflies. All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about flowers. And so I have a flower from my garden that my son went out and picked. So you can see this is one of the flowers that we're going to talk about. It's pretty big, right? It's about as big as, almost as big as my hand. Okay, this is a tulip. And so tulips can come in different shapes and sizes and colors, okay? But you'll see it's got these big, beautiful petals up here. It's got this leaf right here, okay? And then it's got a stem that holds the flower up. And then on the inside is what the insects really like, okay? Especially the pollinators. You can see on the inside of that flower is the pollen. Okay, and look at the beautiful patterns too. Sometimes it's almost prettier to look at the inside of the flower than the outside. All right, so as you're outside and going on your walk and out and exploring, keep an eye open for different flowers because they're everywhere. And if you want to try growing a flower, that's always a great idea too, because then that helps all those little mini bees and pollinators that are out there working in your yards, because they love to go from flower to flower and collect the nectar and then the pollen. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to work on our flower worksheet. So from your garden kit, you can go ahead and get out your flower worksheet. Okay, it looks like this. We're going to fill in these words here. All right, so that's what we're going to work on, and yours will end up looking just like mine. So if you want to grab some colored markers, I always like using a few different colors just because I think it's fun. You don't have to. If you want just to use a pencil or just a pen, that's fine too. Okay, I use bright colors because I think it's more fun for you guys to look at. So what we're going to do is we are going to learn the different types of flowers that you might be seeing in springtime. We've got daffodils. Okay, see, and you can go on a scavenger hunt later and you can impress your adult by saying, I know what that flower is. It's a daffodil. Or I know what that flower is. It's a tulip. Okay, and the last one, it's a snowdrop. Or you can go out and you can work on identifying the different parts of flower, because we're going to talk about that too, right? We're going to talk about the leaf, which is right here. We're going to talk about the petals, and we're going to talk about the stem. Okay, so we're going to learn a couple different parts of the flower, and then we're going to learn about the different types too. And then you guys are going to be flower experts just in the nick of time for spring. All right, so let's get started. All right, today what we're going to do is we are going to talk a little bit about flowers, because if you're out in your neighborhood right now, chances are you've seen some of the different flowers that are popping up in springtime. So on our sheet, we have a couple different types of flowers and a couple different parts of a flower. You can see I have a flower here on my desk. It's a nice big tulip. Okay, so if you're out and about, this one's a tulip. You can see they are maybe in other people's gardens, in parks, okay, in pots. They can sometimes be in a vase on somebody's table, right? But you can see this one's a beautiful tulip, and inside, that's what's inside, is where the pollen is, okay? And so we're going to be nice and gentle. We always like to treat our flowers gently, and we don't like to pick flowers if they're not ours to pick, because they can be a lot of fun for people to raise, and people get really attached to them. So they don't want people picking them unless you have permission. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the different types of flowers that you might be seeing right now. And so the first one, okay, is this one that I have here. It's a tulip. And so on this sheet, this is the tulip. And you're going to look for the word with the trace letters for tulip. And tulip makes the t sound, which is the T. So you're going to look for a word that starts with the letter T. Can you find it on the sheet? I'll give you a second. Tulip. It's right here. This is the letter tulip. So it starts with a T and has an U-L-I-P. Tulip. So we're going to write the word tulip there. Perfect. And this is our tulip right here. The next flower you might see a lot in spring is a bright yellow one on our sheet. They can be bright yellow or maybe a white, okay, or kind of a cross between a yellow and a white. And they're sometimes the first flowers that start appearing in different yards and parks and on balconies of apartments. And it starts with a D. Daffodil. This is a picture of a daffodil right here. You can see the nice bright yellow color. Okay, can you find the word daffodil in trace letters on your sheet? Daffodil starts with the letter D. Daffodil. I'll give you a minute. Let's see if you can find it. Daffodil, it's right by your daffodil up here. Perfect. So D-A-F. Daffodil. Okay, so you're going to write your trace letters right like that. Nice job. Okay, so we've got 2 flowers down. And now there's one more flower on our sheet at the bottom. This one can come out sometimes this actually can come out before the daffodils. And it's a little teeny flower and it hangs upside down like this. It's called a snowdrop. Snowdrop. Which starts with, what letter do we think snow starts with? Kind of makes the S, like snake or school. What letter does snowdrop start with? It's an S, yeah. And so can you find the word that says snowdrop? It's a big word, I know. It might be the biggest word on this sheet. Can you find it? It's right down here at the bottom. Snowdrop. Perfect. So we're going to trace over the trace letters here. S-N-O-W. Drop. D-R-O-P. Snowdrop. So this is our snowdrop. Awesome work, you guys. So now we've got our 3 flowers there, and we've identified and we've written the names of all 3. So now we're going to talk about the parts of our flower, because flowers have different parts that do different things. Okay, and so you can see here my tulip. The tulip plant has this big, beautiful leaf. Okay, and I can kind of spread it out. It's curved, but it's a nice green color, and that helps make the food for the plant. So the leaf starts with the letter L. So now on your sheet, you're going to look for the label that says leaf, and it's pointing right to the leaf too. So can you find the trace letter that's pointing to a leaf? Yeah, it's right over here. Nice job. Leaf, L-E-A-F. This is the leaf. So you can see right here, it's got a little line and a little circle at the end, meaning that's kind of what we're looking at right there. That is the leaf of our flower. This one's to the daffodil. And then holding the flower up, okay, is this big green cylindrical stem. So can you find the word stem on your worksheet? I'll give you a clue. It's on the tulip flower. Do you remember which one the tulip is? Yeah, it's the pink one over here. Nice. So this is our stem. Okay, so we're going to label stem. And again, it's got the line with the little circle pointing to that stem right there. And the last part of our flower that we're going to talk about is the one that most people like to look at the most, because that's where the color is, right? And it's protecting the pollen and the reproductive organs of that plant. You can see here. This one has big, beautiful petals. These are the petals of the flower. And this is a big tulip. You can see, look, it's almost as big as my hand. It's huge, okay? And so the petals of the flower are usually where the color is, right? And we like the look of the petals for the most part. Okay, so petal, it's the last word on our sheet right here. And this one's pointing to the daffodil petals, which are a different color, right? These tulips are nice bright pink. The daffodil petals are a nice yellow color. We're going to write the word petal, which starts with a P, petal. Perfect. All right, and now you guys have filled out your flower sheet, and you know all the parts of our flower with the leaf and the stem and the petal. And now you know 3 different types of flowers too. So when you're out on a walk in your neighborhood, you can be on the lookout for tulips. You can be on the lookout for daffodils. And then see if you can spot some snowdrops too. All right, you guys, great work at filling in that worksheet. You can put it up on the fridge and be done for the day. Way to go.